In this video, we will show you how to replace your outside door handle on this Dodge Dakota. Let's get started. Okay friends, let's get started on our job. We're going to make our way right over here with a plastic trim tool and remove this trim panel, which houses the window switch and mirror switch. We'll carefully get underneath the backside here. Once we start getting this to pop free, we can roll it forward. Underneath this area, you're going to find that you have a plastic hook that goes underneath the door panel. Let's turn this over and start disconnecting our wiring harnesses. On each of the wiring harnesses, you're going to find you have a square tab that you can squeeze in and gently pull this down and off. Every time you disconnect an electrical connector, go ahead and take a peek. If you see any funny colors, it's corrosion and that would need to be dealt with. We'll continue down the line. Now let's move along to removing this tray. Inside of it, you'll find that you have a Phillips head screw. Remove that. We'll use our plastic trim tool, get underneath this area and pry it up. Quick inspection on that. Set it aside. Let's use our small pocket screwdriver. We'll come right inside this area to open this trap door. Behind that, you'll find a Phillips head screw. Remove that. Now let's make our way to the bottom of the door panel. You should find two Phillips head screws. One in this area, ours is missing. Follow it towards the speaker, and you'll find the second one. Remove the pair. Now let's grab onto that door panel and gently lift it up. On the inside, you're going to find a rod that leads to the inside door handle. On this, there's a blue connector. Go ahead and grab onto that and dislodge it from the rod. Now you can lift the rod up and out. Remove the door panel. Now that we have the door panel out of the way, let's continue on to removing the vapor barrier from the area. We are going to be reusing this, so try hard not to tear it as you remove it. We'll just make our way around, gently pulling it away. All this black stuff you can see here is called butyl tape. It's extremely sticky, and if it gets on your clothes, it will ruin them. Let's use my trim tool to carefully start separating this, make my way all the way around. We can leave this on down near the speaker. You don't have to remove the speaker for this job. There we are. I'll just push this aside for now. Now let's continue on with our angled pick. We're going to carefully get inside the door. We're looking for two rods that lead to the outside door handle. You'll find that one rod has a blue locking connector and the other has a pink locking connector. To remove these two locks, I'm going to use my pick and I'll carefully press on the blue one, pressing it away from the rod to unlock it. Once you have that pushed away, continue on by pulling the rod out of the door handle. There's that one. Now I'll continue on to the pink connector. We'll continue on with our pick. I'm going to come in and through the door here and carefully get behind that other connector. We'll pry this off of the rod and then the rod out of the door lock. There we are. That's unlocked. We'll just slide that rod right out of there. With both of the rods disconnected, we're going to continue on with an 8mm socket. We'll remove each of the two mounting nuts that hold the handle to the door. There's one right over here. We'll access through this rectangular hole. There's that one. Now we can remove the last one in and through this circular hole right over here. Now we can make our way to the outside of the door, We'll grab onto that door handle assembly. You want to go ahead and pull on the handle so it's in the open position, and then you can carefully grab this and start pulling it out of the door. At this point, we'll make our way over to the bench so we can start removing the lock from the back side of the handle. To remove the lock from the door handle, you're going to remove this one T25 Torx head screw. Grab onto the door lock, give it a little wiggle, and remove it from the door handle. There it is, friends. Okay, friends, let's get ready to install our exterior door handle. We're going to start by reinstalling the door lock. We'll come from the back side here. Take that door lock and put it in position, making sure that you align the mounting bolt hole. Slides right in, nice and easy. Continue on with your T25 Torx head screw. Snug it up. Make sure that's nice and tight. Give it a wiggle to make sure it's secure. And let's get over to the vehicle. Over at the door, it's important to make sure you clean down any debris on the door where the brand new handle will go. I'll use some light detergent on this and just wipe it down with a clean rag. All right, let's prepare to install that door handle. Before you do, you'll notice that the door handle came with a brand new gasket. On that gasket, you're going to have several holes on it. Each of those holes need to line up with their corresponding tab as you press it into place. Just bring it down and up and over here. Just squeeze it on. Now we can start putting the door handle in position in the door. You'll notice along this area right here, there's a slot in between the door lock and the handle itself. This area of the door needs to fit into that area. As we bring this in, we're going to be aligning the two studs on the back side of the handle with their corresponding hole. While we put this in place, let's grab that handle and put it in the open position. Slide it in, align those studs with the hole, and press it up against the door. Now let's make our way inside the door. Let's start with each of our two mounting nuts. Once you have them started, go ahead and snug them up, holding the handle to the door. Let's start putting on our rods. We'll start with the one that goes to the door lock. That's the one that has the pink connector. Once you have it slid into position, go ahead and lock it down by sliding that pink connector over the rod. We'll grab onto that rod, give it a little wiggle, make sure that it is secure. Now we can continue on to the door handle rod itself. For this one, it's easiest to connect it if you reach from the outside and pull the handle to the open position. Once you do that, you can slide the rod into the proper place. Slide that right in there. Swing that blue tab over to lock it in position. We'll grab onto that using our angled pick. Grab the rod, make sure it is secured to the door handle lever. Once both of those rods are connected, it's going to be time to test the handle before we put anything else back together. Make sure that both of your doors are unlocked, just in case you have to climb in through the passenger side to gain access inside the driver's door. Let's go ahead and close this and make sure the handle functions properly. Perfect, we can continue. Now we can put on the vapor barrier. We're going to be taking our wiring and put it through the vapor barrier. Go right through here. All three wiring harnesses are in the proper place. Make sure this area fits over that. This should go around the door lock. And then at that point, you can continue on to reapplying the vapor barrier to the original position as when you had removed it. Grab this rod, make sure this is out here as well. As you're aligning it, you should make sure that each one of these little notches matches up. All right, let's prepare to install our door panel. As we do, we want to make sure we take all 3 of our wiring harnesses and put it up and through the door panel. While we're doing that, we're also going to be paying attention to this area right here. You want the rod to fit right into this area of the inside door handle and then lock it in with the tab. Swing this over. We'll give that a wiggle. As we continue by putting the door panel up against the door, you'll find that you have several hooks along the door panel. And if you were to look at the door itself, you'll find that you have notches for each of those hooks to fit into. So while we put this into place, we're going to come up nice and high. You want to be paying attention to the lock. It needs to go through the corresponding hole. You also have this top corner up here. This has a little tab on it. You want to make sure that that fits into its corresponding slot on this as well. With all that said, let's go ahead and put this in position. We'll make our way along, trying to line all of those tabs into their corresponding holes. Once it feels like everything's pressed in, go ahead and slide the door panel down to lock it in position. Once you're sure you have the door panel in place, we're going to continue on with our large Phillips head screw. Go ahead and put that right in position on the inside door handle. Make sure that's nice and snug. We'll continue on with the trap door. Typically for this, it's supposed to pivot. Ours is broken. I'll just go ahead and put it right in here. Now we can move along to this piece. We remember we have the hole in the center. It needs to go right down into this bracket. We'll slide this into place and then put in our Phillips head screw holding it down. Continue on to your window switch and mirror switch. Let's connect this in. As we put this in place, we're going to start with the forward aspect right along here. Looking at the switch panel, you can see the tab that goes underneath the door panel. We'll come down at an angle, slide it under there, and then lock it down with the rear. Now we can move to the bottom of the door panel. When we had removed ours originally, we were missing a screw. I found one, so let's go ahead and put it in there. Okay friends, we've got the door back together. Thanks for watching.
When only the best will do, demand TRQ. The only company that lets you view before you do. TRQ is committed to offering the highest quality aftermarket auto parts that are engineered for peace of mind. Thanks for using and viewing with TRQ.